Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about why to plan your week. I used to hate to plan. It felt like a ton of pressure. I felt compelled to create this all-inclusive, everything effort, ever perfect plan. And then I felt completely overwhelmed. I rebelled. I sabotaged my efforts. I proceeded unplanned and then felt terrible that I never honored my word. Today, I'm going to show you a different approach. I'm Missy Hughes, and I'm your productivity coach. I work with you one-on-one in private sessions and help you create the unique structure to support you so that you can follow through. Use the link in the comments of this video to set up a free discovery call where you can simplify your path to feeling accomplished, not disappointed. So, a lot of the time when we dream, it's easy to see what it looks like to win. If I want to make $100,000 in a year or $1 million in a year or lose X a number of pounds or lower my cholesterol or complete a marathon or any other dream that you have out there, it's easy to see the finish line. I will succeed when I hit X mark, like in its one distinct place in the sand, right? But it isn't clear what it looks like to win along the way. So creating a plan for along the way can kind of feel like a shot in the dark. It kind of feels like throwing spaghetti at the wall. I'm just trying some things and seeing what sticks. I want you to imagine that you're at the edge of a canyon and you see your goal, your end point on the other side. Between you and your goal is this huge gaping hole, and you have thoughts like, I don't know how to get over there. I won't make it flow through your mind, or I don't know how to make it. You see people on the other side who have what you're dreaming for, but you don't know how to connect their success to your life. So you think that you have to soar across the canyon in one grand leap. But when you try, you plummet to the bottom of the cliff. So, what happens in planning is that you try to plan for your whole goal in 1 week or 1 month or 1 quarter, and it feels kind of like falling off that cliff. So, instead, what I want to teach you is how you can break that goal into just the next steps that feel clear and plan for that. So, step one is taking a 2-minute action. So I want you to answer these questions for your goal, for where you are. So you're over here. What do you know right now that's working for you that could get you towards that goal? What do you know right now that you can improve upon? You can see, I can build this skill and it would help me. What are the steps that you can take in just the next 7 days, just the next calendar week to improve just by 1%? What's the action then you can take each day that's going to help you move in that direction? So you want to plan for this action to take you between 2 and 15 minutes. Set a baseline for 2 minutes. So if you do more than that, great. If you do the 2 minutes, you've achieved a baseline action that's going to help you move forward. So when you release the pressure of the entire goal, of getting the entire goal in one leap, you see clearly what each one little step can look like. So step two is you evaluate. So you've 7 days have passed. You look back and you say, in the past 7 days, what went well with my 2-minute habit? In the past 7 days, what didn't go well in the instances where I practiced the 2-minute habit. For the next 7 days, what can I try to do differently that will allow me to use what went well and do more of that and adjust what didn't work? So, using these questions allows you to be neutral rather than judgmental. remember when you're worried about like, can I do this? Will I be able to, or do I know how? There's a little bit of judgment that happens. So we want to take that off the table. So when you're using these questions, it releases the pressure of having to do it perfectly. If you know you're going to ask the question, okay, what didn't go well? It makes it okay for things to not go well. Because let me tell you, life isn't always going to go well. We know this already, but yet we keep dreaming of this place where it's all going to go well. It's not here. It's not there. It's not anywhere. They're always going to be the opportunities to say what went well and what didn't. Wonder why not. So, when you use these questions, it shows you where you're hitting your baseline easily and where you have obstacles that you can work through to get to the next step. So, step three is to repeat steps one and two to decide what the next move is in this habit that you're doing that's going to move you even further on down the way. So in my video in this YouTube channel, there's a video called How to Build the Skill of Planning. In that video, I go into detail about exactly how to plan your week. That's not what I'm going to get into in this video. Today, I just want to teach you the benefits that planning can offer you. So when you feel like you don't know how to make this giant leap over the canyon, when you get to practice, you don't, sorry, when you feel like you don't know how to make the giant leap, you don't get to practice what you do know. So when you take that question off the table, you get to practice. Okay, what do I know? What can I practice? What can I make a good educated guess about to do next? Taking action will always give you information about what the next action could be. So when you're over here, you're not going to know every step of the way. You're not going to know steps 1 through 100 and you just start knocking them off the list. You might know steps 1 through 5, and then 1 through 5 will help you plan 5 through 10, 6 through 10, and so on. You may have bigger jumps, you may have smaller ones, you may take a step backward. All of that is fine. You don't have to know it all. Just use the information that you're getting to make the next step. So when you plan the action that you take, you have a baseline for winning. You may not have reached the big goal yet, but if you practiced the habit that you planned, you know where you're not losing, right? So you haven't won the big thing, but you know, oh, I'm not moving backwards here if I'm doing this step, these steps, and I'm learning from them. Now, listen, if you don't practice the baseline, if you don't practice what you planned, it doesn't mean that you are losing. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're stuck. So it means that there's an obstacle that needs your attention. You aren't moving toward winning, that's true. So now the question becomes, what's holding me back? If there were a monster telling me, do not move forward, why is it telling me that I should stay where I am? Why does it want me to stay here? I used to call planning the monster because I was really afraid of doing the wrong actions. I felt so behind in my life that if I wasted time on planning the wrong thing, then I would make myself even more behind and I just couldn't handle that. I was believing that I couldn't handle that. But here's what I learned, and here's what I want to help you learn too. The bigger waste is having something you desire and spending tons of energy wanting it and tons of energy believing you can't have it. That will definitely keep you behind. So when you take action that doesn't give you what you're looking for, you still have information about what happened, not just a monster telling you no. So imagine this is like when a child asks, "Can I have a parent, can I have that piece of candy?" The parent says no. The child says, "Why?" And the parent says, "Because I said so." There's no information given here. Is it no because dinner's in 20 minutes? Is it no because the child didn't do a chore that they agreed to? Is it no because the child just got braces and it's going to get stuck in there? Is it no because the parent is overwhelmed with 1,000 other things and doesn't want to have to deal with this request right now? When the child asks and just gets told no because I said so, this is like the monster saying, don't move forward, just don't. When you stop and take a look, you get information. When you say, what's keeping me stuck? What are my obstacles? What do I know? What is the next step that I know? You get to use information. So the effort of planning gives you information. The information may be that you're stuck, but that's still going to allow you to get clear what you're stuck on so that you can move through it. So when you don't plan, you don't take a look at the reasons the monster is telling you no. You don't look at the details that you can control that are going to get you to your goal. When you plan your week, it gives you direction. When you plan your week, it gives you information to make the next plan. When you plan your week, it gives you a baseline to show your progress. So you plan your week to get over the canyon one manageable step at a time, not in the one leap that leaves you injured and afraid. So if this helps you even imagine getting closer to your goal, I'd love to meet with you for a free discovery call where we can create some clear steps to get you over that canyon. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, and use the link in the comments to sign up for your free call. I can't wait to see you there.